Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of ReaperCast. Today we're going to be talking about the new card that's actually been announced for the Utopia structure deck, or at least the Zexal structure deck, but at the same time we're also going to be going over the entire card list that has actually been revealed for the Utopia, or at least in this particular case, the Zexal structure deck, and we're pretty much just going to be seeing whether or not this is worth it or not. Now the interesting thing is this. It's not actually coming out in the OCG, it's just a TCG exclusive product, which is definitely quite fantastic of course. It is something that we have to also be wary about, I guess, because of the fact that, you know, you have no idea. If this turns out to be quite disappointing in terms of the card list, then it might not be worth it, but let's just talk about all of these cards. Firstly, I wanted to talk about Utopic Astral Hope, which is essentially the new card we actually have here. Very interesting. So, it's a level 4 light warrior effect monster, and it has 0 attack and defense, and the first and second effects of this card's name can only be used once per turn each. If an Xyz monster is on the field, you could special summon this card from your hand. Definitely already really easy, just because it again allows you to just excel your Xyz plays or potentially your Link plays as well. Definitely fantastic, easy summoning conditions, that's for sure. As for the second effect, you could send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard, add one of these cards from your deck to your hand, either an Xyz spell trap, either an Onomat spell trap, a Zexal spell trap, or a number spell trap. Now of course this is meant to be a deck that actually combines all of these together into one, which is definitely what makes it so fun, because this is going to be a deck that focuses around the entire Zexal era, or at least the main 3 characters. So seeing all of these cards being searchable is something that I am very much so excited for. But of course, that is definitely not enough for us to actually consider buying this actual structure deck. We have to see what the remaining cards actually are as well. Now, I did actually talk about a lot of the other new support that was confirmed to come out here, so if you guys want to know about it, definitely go back and check a lot of my older ReaperCast videos. It shouldn't be too old from here, but I essentially talk about all of those new cards as well, and quite a few of them have actually caught my attention. It's now a matter of what's actually being reprinted in this particular structure deck that might actually keep things interesting for us. Alright, so as we could see here, the number 1 card of this actual set is Utopic Astral Hope, which, well, actually that's pretty interesting that the final card that's been revealed is actually the first card of this particular set itself. However, we are also getting Utopic Onomatopoeia, we are getting Zubaba Knight, Gagaga Magician, Gagaga Girl, Gagaga Clerk, Gagaga Sister, Go-Go-Go Golem, Dodo Witch, Zubaba Bancho, Gagaga Coat, Dodo Dwarf, Go-Go-Go Glove. So those are all going to be pretty much just reprints, aside from the first 2 Utopic cards that we talked about. And we're also getting the ZW Lightning Blade, ZW Tornado Bringer, ZW Asura Strike, and ZS Vanish Sage. Also reprints. I believe Vanish Sage should be a new card, but I'm not too sure about that. Aside from that, we're also getting reprints for Skullmeister, Kageto Kage, Tin Goldfish, Maxi, Rainbow Karibo, Zexal Field, and Shining Draw. Definitely really fun, of course. Now Zexal Field and Shining Draw I believe are new cards, but the other cards that have actually been reprinted obviously are going back to the old Zexal deck, or at least the ZW deck, which was a deck that was already quite prominent in the past. Like playing the Lightning Blade and the Tornado Bringer was definitely the main key combo for the deck itself. So seeing that it's actually being reprinted here, if you actually have that option, or if you actually want that, you have that option available for you to build just that deck exclusively, which I find to be quite fun, because I don't want to just buy a structure deck and build one deck out of it. I want to actually be able to build multiple variants, and that's what makes it actually really fun about all of these structure decks. This was something I mainly discovered in the Sacred Beast structure decks because of the fact that I could actually build so many variants. There are 4 particular variants for that one, so with this particular one here, I want to be able to take it apart and potentially play around with it and try out different variations of the decks and see what I could actually do with the few resources that actually come in these structure decks. However, moving on, we are also getting here some Xyz Change Tactics, we're getting Xyz Encore, we're getting Onomato Pyra, Onomato Pickup, Gagaga Academy Emergency Network, Gagaga Revenge, Glorious Numbers, Double or Nothing, Memories of Hope, Chain Summon, Monster Reborn, Reinforcement of the Army, Book of Moon, Contract of Destiny, and also Number Protect. These are all cards that are very specific, of course, to these specific decks that is featured in the Zexal era, but even so, they are definitely very nice reprints for some of them. Nothing particularly stands out so far as a more generic card, so that is something that is quite a bit of a disappointment so far for me, but well, let's just see what else we get. We also are getting the Door of Destiny, Halfway to Forever, High Five to Sky, and as for the Xyz reprints, we're getting number 99 Utopic Dragon, number 32 Shark Drake, and number 62 Galaxy Eyes Prime Photon Dragon. All are actually pretty decent cards for being reprints in here, so it's definitely exciting. Of course, all of these will be in commons, so I am definitely quite disappointed in that particular sense. But of course, there are the new cards, so this will be number 99 Utopia Dragna, ZS Utopic Sage, number 39 Utopia with the alternate artwork, by the way. We're also getting yet number 39 Utopia Double. We're getting Hyper Rank Up Magic Hope Force, which is also a new card. And as for the so-called bonus cards of this set, we're also getting number 39 Utopia, but in an Astral language. And then we're getting Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal as more of a homage card. It's not a card that's necessarily playable. And we're also getting Emperor's Key, either use it as a token or a counter, which I am definitely quite grateful for. We actually talked about all of these cards here, and they were more so just collectible cards, which I told myself, or at least I told you guys as well, you guys all know about it. I told myself that I wanted to buy at least one of these structure decks because it actually came with these specific cards. It makes it so much more fun, so much more interesting, and it's just something you want to have at least in your collection, at least one copy of. And yeah, even if I'm not interested in this particular structure deck, I might just buy at least one of them. But with that being said, I must say this structure deck is definitely quite eye-catching. It doesn't give us reprints for amazing generic cards, but it does have a lot of new cards that it paves the way for us to be able to play a good variation of different cards that we actually want to. So definitely something that is going to sway people in certain directions. I'm sure some people will be interested in these, but at the same time I could also see that some people won't be interested and might not even give a bit of notice for this particular structure deck. I personally am actually excited for the 2 Utopia reprints. It is meant to be a Zexal deck, so it's meant to be built around Utopia anyway, so we are expecting to get number 39 Utopia, and I'm glad to see that we're getting not only an alternate artwork but also an Astral language version, which is 2 separate cards, by the way. That's what makes it so much more significant towards this particular structure deck. But you know, definitely let me know what you guys actually think about this. Do you think that this could actually be viable when you actually combine them together? Do you even need to build 3 of these or buy 3 of them for a combination into one? Or could you actually build this deck out of just 1 or 2 structure decks? You know, does it actually break that common tradition of having to buy 3 of them? You know, like if that's the case, then this is definitely really amazing, and I am all for this particular structure deck. Otherwise, there's no reason for me to actually buy into this structure deck, just because it really just doesn't hold up as to something that is going to stand out in the formats, and I want something that is capable of at least competing. It doesn't have to be competitive, it just needs to have a chance to play against a lot of these top tier decks. Even if it does lose, I don't want to be losing in the first few turns. I want to be able to drag this on long enough to at least experience a bit of enjoyment in the actual deck itself when playing it. So definitely let me know what you guys actually think about this. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video, definitely drop a like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. It really does help out. However, I do thank you all for actually joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you all next time.